Study shows students who know 2 languages have better cognitive functioning.
And that's why dual language programs in suburban schools are becoming more common. You can read that story in today's editions of the Daily Herald. And Tara Garcia-Mathewson from the Herald is here to tell us more about her story. These programs really kind of turn the traditional second language way of doing things on its head. Explain it, first of all.
Yeah, and U46 especially is a good example in the Elgin area school district that is really, they've had a sea change in the way they view language education for English language learners. So where bilingual education was the goal before, and you get students coming in speaking Spanish, for example, they start out a lot more Spanish during the day, and they end up years down the line almost entirely English. And now with this program, dual language is putting value on both languages, putting value on bilingualism, and allowing kids to become, in the end, not speaking mostly English, but speaking both languages equally well, in writing and reading, academically. So all of those things factor in.
We're talking about Spanish, but this reaches beyond Spanish, too. Other language programs are involved, Chinese, Japanese.
Yeah, across the suburbs, a lot of these programs are growing as educators and parents are recognizing the idea that being bilingual can only be helpful in this globalizing world.
So you mentioned programs in place in Elgin. I know there's another one in Schaumburg, many other districts, but kind of explain what it looks like at the classroom level.
Sure. So Schaumburg is one of the longest running programs in the suburbs. So their Spanish-English dual language program started in 1994. Their Japanese-English program started in 2001. And they also have a Chinese program that started just a couple years ago. So the idea is when students come in, if it's a two-way dual language program where you have English speakers and non-English speakers, whether that's Japanese or Spanish, you start out with about half of the class as the non-native speaker and half of the class as the native speaker. And so throughout the day in kindergarten levels, most of the day is in the non-English class. So in Schaumburg, for example, with Japanese, you have about 80% of the day in Japanese for the students, 20% in English. And then those percentages balance out to get to 50%, half and half by 3rd or 4th grade.
Wow.
That is just fascinating. So when you're in there, is everyone just speaking away? You can hear all these kids playing, and I mean, I'm thinking of the kindergarten level.
Yeah, it's really interesting, and there's actually at dailyherald.com, there's a video of the Japanese English class in Dooley Elementary School in Schaumburg, and you can see students are kind of chatting in English while playing Japanese games and switching back and forth.
Right. What an advantage for those kids, too. Once they grow up, that's definitely something to have on your resume, to be able to speak more than one language. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And you can read the full story in today's Daily Herald. You can also read it online at dailyherald.com.